Any leader in the opposition outside Congress that you really think is a role model? Let's be apolitical for a moment.
Well, let me tell you, I'll have to spend a couple of years on research to come back with an answer to that.
Really?
Yeah.
Sanjay, come on. Would you have said that if you were not the Congress spokesperson?
Well, I'll be very honest. I mean, when I was writing this book...
Let's say 5 years before. You said in the last 5 years. Was Vajpayee a role model?
Oh, not at all. Not at all. I think Vajpayee is the most overrated politician in India. Let me repeat that in case you didn't hear it, although you're at short distance. He is the most overrated politician in India. Let me tell you, for Gujarat 2002 that happened, that we talk about so often, how can the Prime Minister of India, who was sitting in Delhi, be absolved of that responsibility? Just because he utters this statement of Raj Dharma, I mean, I hear every anchor on television and everybody talking, you know what? Vajpayee said Raj Dharma. My dear friend, why didn't you do something about it? Point number two, don't forget what he said in Goa. Besides some very famous crocodile tears that must have had the crocodiles, blush in embarrassment. The truth is that he actually said something to the effect in Goa that all the other religious faith in India should be grateful that they get an opportunity to practice their faith in this country. I think to my mind, these were outrageous statements.
True.
I will tell you, there are some people who, even within my own party, who might have, may have some degree of reason to admire him. But I thought he was the smartest politician. If he had any noble intentions, I don't know much about them. But if he had any, if you give him the benefit of doubt, I think it was RSS that really held him tight.
But tell me, just like 2002 happened, Congress also had a lot of instances. And let's not go into past. Let's say Kokrajhar. By that same logic, shouldn't the Assam Chief Minister, who is a Congress CM for nearly 15 years now, and also Manmohan Singh, who is the Rajya Sabha MP from Assam, be equally to be blamed?
Kunal, can I tell you something? Every time I go on a television debate, the BJP leaders usually say, there were other riots in the country under the Congress government. There is a big difference between a riot that happens on account of an incident, spontaneous, or even if it provoked. But the role of the state, I mean, if the state is meant to protect its citizens, whichever religion that you come from.
Yeah.
The role of the state,
secular state,
absolutely,
like
secular as defined by constitution, where there is no distinction between majority and minority at all. All religions are meant to be equal. The role of the state has got to be beyond question, beyond dispute. What you found in Gujarat, which as we talk is still a matter which is being debated, Ishar Jahan, the role of the police, whether it's IB or whether it's the local police of the Gujarat government, that tells you the involvement of the entire apparatus within Gujarat. That hasn't happened with anyone before. And let me use your platform to tell you the 1984 was different. The BJP continuously keeps making this statement about the late Prime Minister, Mr. Rajiv Gandhi, saying when a big tree falls, they will, they're so disingenuous and misleading. That statement was made 19 days or 20 days later after the riots were over. The impression being given to the people of India is that that statement was made on the same day or a day after Mrs. Gandhi's assassination that led to the riots. I mean, it's such a blatant, brazen lie. And that was said in a context which was incredibly different. In fact, if you read the post-Delhi riots, which was unfortunate, reprehensible, I mean, nobody's even, it has to be condemned. It's a shame, it's a blot, it's a terrible tragedy. We're not even, that's not something that needs to be expressed. But, the riots came to an end within 3 days. It didn't carry on for weeks. And more important, I think, whether it was an apology, it was given both by the Prime Minister at that time himself, Mrs. Gandhi herself. And I think, there was, a huge degree, it never became, so to say, there were Hindu families that protected the Sikhs. I mean, there were stories of that kind. So it really wasn't, in that sense, a communal riot.
Yeah.
It was mobsters, it was, all these lumpen elements as we define them, who took over. But, we're not comparing tragedies here. But truly, I thought where Gujarat is the biggest blot is the fact that the state government actually used its machinery, particularly the police, to, take inaction.